I still can't believe what we just watched. There are Daytona 500 finishes. And then there are finishes that just shake the entire sport. And what happened tonight? That's the kind of moment that reminds you why you fall in love with NASCAR in the first place. This wasn't just another season opener. This wasn't just another super speedway wreck fest. Something massive shifted out there on that final lap. The kind of thing that changes legacies. The kind of thing people are going to argue about for years. If you're a real NASCAR fan, you know this race means everything. It's not just about points. It's not just about the playoffs. It's about history. It's about identity. It's about becoming part of Daytona forever. And trust me, what happened at the end? Nobody saw it coming exactly like that. Before we break it all down, do me a quick favor. If you're a real NASCAR fan and you live for moments like this, hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. This channel is brand new. We're pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers. And if you believe the Daytona 500 still hits different, you're exactly who this channel is for. All right? Now let's talk about what just went down. Tyler Reddick just won the Daytona 500. And not just any Daytona 500 win. He did it driving for 23 Weekend Racing, the team co-owned by Michael Jordan and three-time Daytona 500 winner Denny Hamlin. Let that sink in for a second. Reddick led one lap. One. The only one that mattered? The final lap. This whole thing exploded in the final stretch. With 9 laps to go, Denny Hamlin, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, got tangled up with his teammate Christopher Bell. That brought out a caution and reset the field, setting up a 4-lap sprint to the finish. You could feel it building, the tension, the energy. Then Carson Hocevar was leading on the final lap and gets spun off the track. Just like that, chaos. Suddenly Chase Elliott is out front, and it felt like destiny. The son of NASCAR Hall of Famer Bill Elliott, finally about to win his first Daytona 500. You could almost write the headline before it happened. But superspeedway racing doesn't care about scripts. Reddick made a massive surge. He got to Elliott's bumper. There was contact. Elliott crashes. Reddick sails past and takes the checkered flag at Daytona International Speedway. Michael Jordan is going to victory lane at the Daytona 500. That image alone is wild. And here's where it gets even deeper. This wasn't just a race win. Jordan was the public face of that December federal antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR, a lawsuit that got settled on the 9th day of trial. That settlement changed the revenue-sharing model in NASCAR's top series. So when that 23-year-old Toyota Camry crossed the line, that was bigger than just a trophy, and it capped off what might be the most symbolic Daytona weekend ever. Bob Jenkins, who joined 23 Westers in suing NASCAR, kicked it off Friday night when Chandler Smith won the Truck Series opener for Front Row Motorsports. Saturday, Richard Childress, who testified on behalf of 23 Wekes and Front Row and was dragged into those text message controversies involving former NASCAR chairman Steve Phelps, saw Austin Hill win. And then Sunday, Jordan and Hamlin get their first Daytona 500 victory as team owners. That's a sweep for 3 team owners deeply involved in that lawsuit. You cannot write it any crazier than that. And by the way, Jordan turns 63 on Tuesday. That's one heck of an early birthday present. Behind Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished second. Joey Logano finished third. Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford all on the podium. Chase Elliott, fourth. Sitting on the outside wall after climbing out of his car, completely dejected. You could see the disbelief in his face. Now let's talk about the reaction, because the fans were losing their minds. It's Tyler's time. What a finish. We all wanted Chase. Hocevar robbed. Thank you, NASCAR, for not throwing the caution. Fuel Saver 500. Wild. Unreal. And honestly, all of those emotions are valid. Some people are gutted for Carson Hocevar. They're saying he got robbed. Others are crushed for Elliott, saying if he blocks that run, maybe we're having a totally different conversation. Some fans were thanking NASCAR for keeping it green. And I'll be real, I'm glad they did. We always complain when they throw a late yellow and manipulate the ending. This time, they let them race to the line. That's super speedway racing. That's Daytona madness. And yeah, people are roasting restarts. People are pointing fingers at drivers who got in the way. That's part of it. That's what happens when emotions are that high. Now here's my honest take as someone who watches every single week. This felt like a moment where Tyler Reddick announced, "This is my era." He's been good. He's been fast. But there's always been something missing. Last year was tough for him. He admitted it. There were struggles. There were expectations driving for Michael Jordan. When you drive for someone like that, people expect wins, championships, no excuses. And they went through a drought. They had to look in the mirror. But tonight, that Toyota Camry showed up when it mattered. They didn't control the race. They weren't dominating. But at Daytona, that doesn't matter. You just have to be there when the door opens. And Reddick kicked it down. That last lap, no teammate help. Just instinct, just timing, just guts. And then the celebration. He's in victory lane FaceTiming Frank Monsignor, their regular tire guy who had to stay home to heal up for the season. That's real. That's team. That's not corporate PR. That's a driver thinking about the guy who changes his tires. Then he talks about last year being hard, about his baby boy dealing with physical issues, about doubting whether he'd ever win this race. And then he says something that hits. His son asked him before the race, "Are you finally going to win this race?" And today just felt right. That's Daytona. That's why this race is different. He said he lost his voice from screaming already. Said it's surreal. Said he never thought he'd be a Daytona 500 champion. And now he is. This win changes everything for Reddick. It locks him into the playoffs. It gives 23 Vests a statement victory. It puts Michael Jordan's team at the center of the NASCAR universe to open the season. And psychologically, that's huge. For Chase Elliott fans, it hurts. I know it does. He was right there. But if this sport has taught us anything, it's that redemption arcs are real. For Hocevar fans, yeah, that one stings. But the kid showed speed and presence at the front in the biggest race of the year. That matters long-term, but tonight belongs to Tyler Reddick, the Daytona 500 champion. And the craziest part? It's only race one. If this is how we're starting the season, buckle up. If you felt something watching that finish, hit the like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Were you rooting for Chase? Did you think Hocevar got robbed? Or are you riding with Reddick and 23 Risks? This channel, NASCAR Nation Report, is brand new. We're pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If you love real NASCAR talk, honest fan opinions, and breaking down the sport the way we actually feel it, subscribe and be part of this from the beginning. Because if Daytona just showed us anything, it's that this season is going to be absolute chaos, and I cannot wait for next Sunday.